You hear it everywhere, right? AI is going to change everything. But what if all this hype is just a bubble? And what if, when it pops, it takes your job right along with it? Well, today, we're going to talk about that. We're going to give you the survival guide you need to navigate what's coming. Look, this isn't just some abstract tech industry buzzword. This is about your future, your security, and your career. So let's get you prepared for what's just around the corner. All right, first things first. To figure out how to survive this thing, we need to understand what exactly we're up against. So let's break down what an AI bubble actually is. Okay, so picture this. Investors get caught up in a frenzy, right? They start pouring billions and billions of dollars into AI companies. This sends their value through the roof, way before many of them have made any real profit. That's the bubble. And the danger? Well, if that excitement dies down before the profits show up, the bubble can burst, and that could trigger a major market crash. You know, the thing is, this isn't our first rodeo with a tech bubble. Remember the dot-com crash back in 2000? It completely wiped out companies that seemed totally invincible. But here's the crucial lesson from that whole mess. The strongest companies, the ones that were genuinely innovative, like Amazon, they didn't just survive, they thrived. That's a pattern we really need to keep in mind. So what's at stake this time around? Well, according to some recent analysis, we could be looking at up to 45 million jobs in the US alone being automated by AI by the end of the decade. Let that sink in. 45 million. That's nearly a third of the entire workforce. The scale of this change is, well, it's huge. And we're not talking about some distant sci-fi future. We are talking about jobs that are the absolute backbone of our economy today. Office support, customer service, data entry, really any job that involves predictable, repetitive tasks is now potentially on the chopping block.
When you're staring down a disruption this massive, it's only natural to ask, okay, so what's the plan? And one of the biggest ideas being talked about is creating a totally new kind of safety net for everyone. Let's take a closer look at that.
It's called Universal Basic Income, or UBI for short. The idea is surprisingly simple. The government gives every single citizen a regular paycheck, no strings attached. The thinking behind it is, if AI is going to create this incredible wealth for a small number of people, maybe some of that wealth should be shared to make sure nobody gets left behind in the dust. And listen, this isn't just a theory anymore. They ran a real-world experiment in Stockton, California. They gave 125 residents $500 a month. And the results? They were pretty amazing. People reported way less stress, they were actually more likely to find better, full-time jobs, and they spent the money on what you'd expect. Food and housing. But, and this is a big but, UBI is a hugely controversial idea. On one hand, yeah, it could be a powerful way to reduce poverty and give people the breathing room they need to adapt. But on the other hand, the cost could be absolutely astronomical. We're talking trillions. And there's a really fierce debate about whether it would make people not want to work. It's a complicated problem, for sure, with no easy answers. So, while all the experts are debating these huge ideas like UBI, what can you do right now to take control of your own future? Let's talk about the jobs of tomorrow, and more importantly, how you can get one. Because here's the genuinely good news. While some jobs are going to disappear, AI is also projected to help create around 170 million new ones across the globe. You see, the future isn't about being replaced by AI. It's about figuring out how to work with it. So what do these new jobs actually look like? Well, think of them in about three big categories. First, you've got your AI collaborators. These are the people who train, manage, and work right alongside these smart systems. Then you've got the deeply human, hands-on jobs that AI just can't touch. Things like skilled trades, nursing, creative fields, teaching, and finally, there's a massive opportunity in green jobs, using AI to build a more sustainable world. And the best part, you don't need some fancy four-year degree to get these skills. You can start right now, a lot of times for free with online courses from places like Coursera. Your local community college is another fantastic resource. And hey, don't be afraid to ask your current boss. A lot of companies are realizing it's way smarter to retrain their own people than to hire from scratch. And these opportunities are popping up everywhere if you just look for them. I mean, just as an example, MIT is offering a free webinar on how AI can be used to fight climate change. This is the kind of cutting-edge stuff that's now available to literally anyone with an internet connection. Okay, I get it. Navigating this kind of change can feel pretty overwhelming. But if you're feeling anxious about all this, I want you to remember one crucial thing. We have been here before, and every single time, we've come out stronger on the other side. This chart, This is basically the story of the dot-com era. You can see the dizzying heights of the bubble, then the absolutely brutal crash that followed, and then that slow, steady climb back to a position that was even stronger than before. It's a powerful reminder that even after the worst disruptions, recovery is always possible.
So what's the secret sauce for a successful recovery? It really comes down to three key things. First, people have to be willing to adapt and learn new skills. Second, the government needs to create an environment where businesses can actually innovate and grow. And third, the companies that win in the end are the ones focused on creating real value, not just hype. Those are the exact same ingredients we need to navigate the AI revolution today.
Look, economic change is never easy, but it is always, always followed by a new wave of innovation and opportunity. The only real question is, will you be ready to ride that wave?
The future of work isn't something that's just going to happen to you. It's something you can actively shape. The change is coming, that much is certain. So the only question left to ask is, are you ready to be a part of it?